Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here with my Atak Sportz for this Monday, June the 1st, 2015. Alright, a very interesting weekend for sports this past weekend. Let's kick these off with, of course, UFC results taking place in Brazil this past Saturday night. Following a great UFC 187, the fight night was okay. The two main fights, the main event and co-main were pretty good. The rest was hit and miss. First fight was decent with a big KO from Darrington. Was very aggressive in that first fight. Francisco Tornado against Norman Park was unexciting. The next two fights were just uneventful. Like I always say this, decent action, not much excitement in both those fights. They got decently excited in the next fight with Alex Oliveira against KJ Noobs. By the way, the third fight was Francimol Barroso against Ryan Jimbo. That was unanimous decision. I thought it was split like the last fight because they didn't do shit. If it's decision split, they didn't do shit. That's what happened in the second fight too. Then, like I said, the fourth fight started getting more exciting. Coleman was pretty good, probably the best fight of the night, and it did win fight of the night honors. Charles Oliveira against Nick Lynch. Very exciting fight. Very back and forth action, ending up with Charles Oliveira defeating Nick Lynch by submission, guillotine choke, and the third round, because I think both guys split a round. Charles won the first round, Nick won the second round, or Nick won the first, Charles won the second. Like, it was back and forth. It was split the first two rounds, and then Oliveira got the big win in the third round. Big win in the third round. Because I think Lynch did win the second round. So, there you go. Big win for Oliveira in the third round. And probably the best fight of the night, and it was. Then Carlos Conte and Thiago Alves. That was your main event. Kind of didn't round. The first round was decent. Then the second round, Conte, who I think lost the first round, he came out in that second round aggressive as hell. Coming with a big elbow, breaking Alves' nose, leading to the referee stoppage after the second round. They deemed Alves not to compete because his nose was too broken. So Conte won the fight after the second round TKO. So there you go. Decent little card in Brazil this past Friday. A Saturday. But this past Friday was TNA's last Friday Impact. We all know they're moving to Wednesdays. Now it gets more interesting. Ring of Honor will now be on Wednesdays at 8 before TNA. Ring of Honor is going to be on for an hour, opposing NXT's live airing on the network. It's going to be a whole lot of intriguing with TNA and Ring of Honor and NXT on one night. Wrestle Wednesdays. So, Wednesday is the night to be. But for being the final Impact on Friday, it was a decent one. They called it Main Man. Being the last one in May. We kicked things off with Terrence Howell taking on Gail Kim in a ladder match. Not a ladder match, steel cage match. You don't see that in WWE every day. It was a fun cage match. At least it kept the Dollhouse out a little bit. They did get involved, but the interference didn't ruin the match like the main event of last night's pay-per-view for WWE, which I'll get to that when we get to our wall preview. So the fun cage match with Terrence Howell getting the victory in a decent little cage match to kick things off. We even crowned a new X Division champion in the gauntlet as Rockstar Spud regained his X Division championship, defeating the man who beat him, Kenny King, about a couple months ago, this past Friday on Impact. Also, we saw EC3, even despite all his rage, Tyrus was a rat in the cage. Because that's what Anderson tried to get a cage out, and EC3 said, despite all his rage, Tyrus won't be a rat in the cage. I smell Billy Corgan. Anyway, because as we all know, he's a guy behind the scenes. Now it makes sense. I was like, Billy Corgan. And then we had the James Storm, Mickey James things getting out of control. And like we had to call him Rockstar Spud winning. He was the last guy along with Kenny King. Like a lot of people were in that match. I was surprised Beat Time Clan was involved. And then we had the second match of the best of 5 series between the Wolves and Dirty Heels. Dirty Heels needed to win because Wolves won the first match decisively in a fun match in the first. I think the second match was better. I thought the winner of the first match would add stipulation to the match. They didn't, but maybe they'll add that maybe for the third match, especially if the Dirty Heels. He was a Third, because right now Wolves are 2-0 in the best of 5 series. Because Wolves dominated both matches. And it was another fun match. Probably my favorite match of the series. That's a really fun tag team match. In the second match of this best of 5 series, with the Wolves in the victory. Then, of course, the main event. Before we get to that, we got another confrontation between Angelina Love and Velvet Sky, whose storyline still fired, with a new look and the silent, mysterious character she's playing. We'll see how that unfolds. And then we had the main event. Kurt Angle against Eric Young for the TNA World title in an I Quit match. It was a decent I Quit match for what it was. You know, it was decent. Eric Young had Angle. We even had Angle in a lock, but Angle didn't. Yeah, Angle tapped out, but he didn't say I quit. That's kind of a weird thing. But Angle got the ankle lock on Eric Young, and he got Eric Young to say I quit by that. So finally, I quit match main event to end the last Impact on a fighter. Like I said, in 2 days, it'll be on Wednesday, opposing NXT and Ring of Honor on the same network. That's intriguing. It's going to be an intriguing night on Wednesday. It's going to be a crazy Wednesday night. A lot of DVRs be going. Not mine, though. I think I'm doing improv classes, but I have improv coming off this week. My teacher is going on vacation, couldn't find a sub. So this is probably the only week I'm ever going to watch all these shows live. So my plan is for this week only, because I'm off, watching Ring of Honor live, watching TNA live, WWE NXT on demand. Rest of the week, I'm going to record both TNA and Ring of Honor DVR. But this week, I'm watching them both live. May make review, may not. But for certain, I will make a Raw review tonight. Which leads to our WWE Raw preview for this evening. Of course, the aftermath of Elimination Chamber. And of course, since we're only 2 weeks away from that pay-per-view, Money in the Bank buzz begins tonight. Leads to the top. Only 3 questions that must be answered tonight. Question number 3. What's next for Kevin Owens for his big win over John Cena last night? If you haven't seen my Elimination Chamber review yet, it's on this channel. Fun pay-per-view. Screwy main event, which I'll get to in a second for our number 1 question in the aftermath of that match. But Kevin Owens defeating Cena is probably the biggest talking point from last night's event. It was a fun match, probably match of the night in my opinion. Owens just looked like a badass, man. He looked great against Cena. And I said it last night, and I'll say it again. Thank you, Cena, for getting someone over. Cleanly, mind you. You know, it's not often when people can beat John Cena clean. CM Punk, then you're Bryan, Brock Lesnar, now Kevin Owens. But as we know from last night, there will be a rematch. Cena will probably win that. Just to please little kiddies. But at least Owens won a match. But if Owens does beat Cena again, Rusev's going to be like, that's what happens when you make a guy lose 2 months in a row. You lose 2 months in a row, bitch. Of course, Rusev is out. Mark Henry replaced him in the chamber match. Should have been somebody better, but hey. Those people saying they should have picked Jack Swagger. We haven't seen him in a few months. But instead, they got Mark Henry. I knew it would be like something doing like Mark Henry a big show. And it was. So, question number 2. Will there be any matches announced for Money in the Bank? And will there be any new participants? We know Cena Owens. All but guarantee we're going to see a Rollins and Ambrose rematch stemming from last night, which I'll get to that in a second. But of course, we have the Money in the Bank match itself. Right now, we have 6 participants named Randy Orton, Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, Roman Reigns, and Neville. All announced. To say more, I say 7 or 8. I want to be even this time. They had 7 for the IC ladder match at Mania, so it should be 8. In my opinion, make it even this time. It's not to say who else should be in it. Maybe Bray Wyatt. Maybe Bray Wyatt should be in that ladder match. That's what I'm thinking. I think Bray Wyatt should be at it for the Money in the Bank. I couldn't think of anybody last night off the top of the head dome. Then and there on my review, but once I had a day to think about it, I'm like, Bray Wyatt should be in it. So there you go. We'll see if anyone gets added to the ladder match tonight, and of course, any new matches added. All but certain Ambrose Rollins again, which leads to question number 1. What's going to down between Dean Ambrose and Rollins? Especially since Dean Ambrose won the match by DQ after we thought he won the match and they reversed the decision. That was stupid. And of course, the fact he walked out with the belt. Triple H is saying he's going to start Raw tonight by demanding that Ambrose returns the WWE Heavyweight Championship tonight to return in the sole possession of Seth Rollins. You'll probably bribe him to say give him another shot, and hopefully they added 2 stipulations to that. No DQ and no authority at ringside to ruin massive interference. Because main event last night was okay, not as good as the other matches. Maybe it's because of authority at ringside, maybe it's because of fans shitting on it. This Corpus Christi crowd, I was like, nervous about Corpus Christi, been very vocal about them not being the best crowd. And they were not that bad last night, especially during Owens and Cena. But during the main event, they weren't as good during the match. So it was an okay main event, but not as good as other matches. They've had better matches. So hopefully the Bank's a better match. Not just on an excitement standpoint, but on a less interference and less screwy ending standpoint. So I know Rollins wants to win cheaply because of the authority and all. Come on. If Cena can lose clean at Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins can at least win or lose clean. So see how everything unfolds if you head towards the short build for Money in the Bank. That all begins tonight on Monday Night Raw at 8, 7 Central on USA Network. And that is it for my Attack Sports today. As I said, I will see you later tonight for my Raw review. That mind, y'all been attacked by the sports news from Zach. See you later, yeah.